Hello and welcome back again to this channel of Educational Insights. In this series, we are discussing world history. In the world history, now we are discussing French Revolution. First lecture we already completed. Now we will move further in the French Revolution. So in this lecture, we will discuss the course of French Revolution from 1789 till 1799. So till now we discussed about the background. Background means the European society happened during the transition phase. What about the society of France during the 1750 or early 18th century. Then we discuss the cause of French Revolution. Now we will discuss the course of French Revolution from 1789 till 1790. So in this lecture we will discuss only the events related to the French Revolution from 1789 to 1799. So first we will discuss the map of France. Before discussing map, we just look at the location of France is in the Western Europe. France lies in Western Europe. So France lies in Western Europe. The Western Europe, uh, west of France, west in the west of France, there lies a ocean known as Atlantic Ocean. There is a channel, the Atlantic Ocean. That channel is English Channel. English Channel lies in the northwest. In the northwest, there is a channel that is known as English Channel. In the southeast, there lies Mediterranean Sea. Then there are certain countries which surrounded the France. The north, Belgium and Luxembourg. In the northeast is Germany. So Germany lies in northeast. In the east, there lies a nation known as Switzerland. Switzerland is in the east of France. Then there is a country known as Italy. Southeast, there is a country known as Italy. So France is, in the southwest there is a nation known as Spain. So Spain lies in the southwest. Now we will discuss the four main areas, four main regions which are generally asked in the examinations, which lies in the France. So these four areas are who are port cities. Who are port cities? So first port city is Nantes. First port city is Nantes. So Nantes lies here. Nantes is a port city, lies in the western part of France, and there is one more port city, that is Bordeaux. Bordeaux lies in the western part. So these two, Nantes and Bordeaux, both the port cities lies in the west of France. One city that is important that lies in the south, that is Marseille. So Marseille is the place where first time national national anthem of France was sang. So first time national anthem of France was sang in the Marseille. So this is also an important. This lies in the south, and there is one most important place in the France, that is Paris. Paris is important because Paris is the capital city. Paris is the capital city of France. First, second, the prison Bastille prison lies here in the Paris itself. So there are four important places which we have to remember from the examination point of view. Now we will move further with the events. So when we discuss the events, so first we already discussed that on 5th of May 1789 the king convened the State General. So State General we already discussed. So on 5th of May, this is the timeline from 1789 till 1791 with the dates. So first on 5th of May 1789, convocation. 20th June 1789, tennis court took place. 14th of July, storming of Bastille prison. Then 4th of August 1780 and August degree. August degree is nothing. On this day, 18 ordinances was passed by the National Assembly itself to satisfy the people of France. On 26th August 1789, on 26th August 1789, what happened? The National Assembly declared certain rights for the men and citizen. And then next is 1791, the first constitution of the France came into picture in 1790. The first constitution of France came into picture in 1791. We will discuss all these events one by one. So first we will begin during the what happened during the convocation of States General. So in the course of French Revolution, the first event is the convocation of States General. So in the convocation of States General, we already discussed that there are certain members which participate in the State General. So all the three states have representation in the State General. The first state has 300 members, second state has 300 members, and 600. Third state has 600 members. All the states have representation in the State General. State General is political body. Political body what happens whenever king has to implement or make certain changes or make certain reforms in the taxation, then king has to first take suggestions from the state general itself. So what happened before 1614 till 1789, king never convened the state general because there was no need to convene the state general. But because of the economic crisis, the king has to convene the state general because king, the finance minister, proposed that we have to make certain reforms in the taxation system so as to better our economic condition. So after 1614, this was the first time the meeting of state general took place. Clear? So king was in the favor of old regime system. So whenever I use the term old regime or ancient regime, it means, so whenever I talked about the old regime, I'll talk about old regime or ancient regime, it means I'm talking about the Roman Empire. So what happened during the Roman Empire? So during the ancient regime, there were certain rules and regulations, and those rules and regulations were that one state, one vote. One state, one vote. These were the rules and regulations. King wanted that we have to move forward according to these rules only. So what happened? The third state wants that we have to work according to democratic principles. We have to follow democratic principles. So third state proposed that we have to follow democratic principles. It means one member, one vote, because the majority of population belongs to the third state. The third state must have more representation in the state general. But king refused the demands of third state. So what happened? After the king refused the demand, the state general has come out with a no conclusion. And the persons belonging to third state, they all moved to the tennis court. And in the tennis court, they passed the resolution. Now we will discuss what happened in the tennis court. So third state assembled in a tennis court on 20th June 1789, and the resolution they passed was National Assembly resolution. National Assembly resolution took place. So National Assembly means they replace the State General with the National Assembly, and in the National Assembly, majority of the members are from the third state only. So this National Assembly has given a task that they have to frame a constitution for the France. So no resolution. They decided that no resolution until a new written constitution is framed. The National Assembly will not go anywhere till the time we will frame a constitution for the France. The National Assembly decided that we will not move anywhere till the time we will frame a constitution for the France. So this National Assembly was headed by two important persons, and these important persons were Mirabeau and Abbé Sieyès. So Abbé Sieyès has asked certain questions to the people. And these questions were, what is the third state? Third state क्या है? And the people gave the answer that everything. Second question was, what has it until now in the political order? Political order में अभी तक ये क्या थी? Nothing. Because first and second state always come together, and always decisions will take according to the first and second state. So what does it ask? To become something. So third state only wants to become something in the political order. So these were certain questions. These questions were asked by the Abbé Sieyès. So in the France, in the winter season in the France, there was very bad harvest. फसल अच्छी नहीं हुई थी. People started writing on streets for food because of inflation, because of the bad harvest, inflation rises. So when the inflation was when the inflation rises, then what happened? There were bread right or subsistence crisis. So in the summer, what people so in the summer what people did? So people started to looting the shops. People started writing on the street of food, and they started to looting the shops, looting the food shops. So people started to looting the food shops. So when king get to know that people are rioting in the streets, people are looting the food shops, then king ordered the troops to move into the Paris. So king ordered that the troops has to control the conditions. Troops started to move into the Paris. So when the people find out that troops are moving in the Paris, when the people find out, then the people what they did, then the people, commoners, storm and destroy the Bastille prison. Because the Bastille prison was seen as the symbol of royalty. Because the Bastille prison was seen as the symbol of royalty, and that's why people moved to the Bastille prison and they stormed the wall of Bastille prison, and they also take over the arms from the Bastille prison. So Bastille prison was a major prison in the Paris, and that prison was seen as the symbol of royalty. So later because of that event, that 14 July was declared the National Day of France. So till now all the things are clear. The one group, that is third state, the members of third state were writing the constitution in the tennis court. Second one, the commoners, the people they are writing on the streets, they are fighting for the bread, and they stormed the Bastille prison on 14 July 1789. Clear? So what happened? Because of the lack of grains and price rise, because of lack of grains and price rise, what people did? Because of bad harvest, the grains were very less, the prices were rising, so the rumors spread that the lots of manure will start to destroy the ripe crops. So, lot of manure means nobles. So rumors spread that the lot of manure will destroy the ripe crops. So what people did? People attacked the manor houses. So people attacked the manor houses and the chattaks. So these are the regions where hoarded grains were stored. So hoarded grains were stored and looted the grains. So people, the third state, the commoners started to attack the manor houses and chattaks and looted the hoarded grains. Nobles, because of the fear, fled from their homes. So this was the situation in the July and August 1789. So all the members of the third state who are writing the constitution, all the members belonging to the third state, the National Assembly persons who are writing the constitution, they think that we have to provide certain rules and regulations, certain laws for the people, that they think that we are doing something for them. So next major event is the event known as August Decree. So August Decree have 18 ordinances. So on during the August Decree, what happened? Because of the fear, King provide King gave recognition to the National Assembly that now yes, National Assembly will write the constitution for the France. So King gave the recognition to the National Assembly, and August Decree have 18 ordinances, and these 18 ordinances mainly deal with the things which are most important for the society. For example, abolition of feudal system. Feudal system was abolished because of this ordinances. Abolition of tithes. Tithes means access to the church. Next one is abolition of old judicial system. Old judicial system means now clergy has no power in the judicial system. So the judiciary must be elected. Next one is property of church transfer to the government. All the property belonging to the church will transfer to the government, and the privileges of church was abolished, etc. So these are certain major things which first came into picture during the August Decree. So during the August Decree, what happened? The National Assembly provided 18 ordinances that were most important, and at that point of time the constitution was not completed. So because of great fear, National Assembly think that we have to provide certain rules and regulations so as to people think so as to people think that we are doing something for them. So next one is, next event was Declaration of Right of Man and Citizen. The National Assembly provides 17 rights for the man and citizen. So these are the important rights, and later these rights will become the preamble. Later these rights became the preamble of French Constitution. So these rights contain 17 articles. These 17 articles were most common either natural rights, or first or second there are certain legal rights. Legal rights mainly are those rights which the Enlightenment thinker talked about. So these are certain rights which Enlightenment thinkers talked about, or which the society thinks during that period of time. So for example, men are born and remain free and equal in rights. Means all are equal. So these rights mainly talk about the equality, liberty, and fraternity. These rights mainly talk about these ideas: equality, liberty, and fraternity. So the aim of every political association is to preservation of the natural and inalienable right of man. These are liberty, property, and security, and assistance and resistance to oppression. So the aim of political association means the government which came to power, that government has to aim to provide the rights to all men, liberty, equality, property, security. So this is mainly, so in this right they are talking mainly about the social contract theory of Rutgers. The source of all sovereignty reside in the nation. So it means the king or the government which is sovereign can take power from the society itself, from the nation itself, from the people itself. No group or individual may exercise authority that does not come from the people. So without taking power from the people, no one can do anything. So these are certain important things. Liberty consists of all the powers to do whatever is not injurious to others. Means anyone can do anything. Means the idea of liberalism. Idea of liberalism of John Locke. So idea of liberalism of John Locke was presented in the fourth article. Means if I am not harming anybody, then I can do anything. So liberty consists of power to do whatever they want to do. The law has the right to forbid only actions that are injurious to society. तो कोई भी कानून, द लॉ हैज़ द राइट टू फॉरबिड, कोई भी कानून में सिर्फ उन्हीं चीज़ों की मनाही होनी चाहिए. लॉ हैज़ टू फॉरबिड ओनली ऑल दोज थिंग्स which are injurious to society. Means if the society is not harming, then if the society is not harming, then the law will not restrict any person to do things. Clear? Law is expression of general will. Law is expression of general will means the rules and regulations must be according to the will of the society. जो लोग चाहते हैं समाज में उसी के हिसाब से कानून होना चाहिए. So these are certain rules, these are certain rights which are provided by the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizens. Clear? So next, in the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen, there is one more right, that no man may be accused, arrested, or detained except in the cases determined by the law. So this is proposed by the rule of law. Means कानून के हिसाब से सब कुछ होगा. So procedure must be according to the established by the law. So this is according to the doctrine of rule of law. Next one is every citizen may speak, write, and print freely. So this provides freedom of expression. So all these things we already discussed in the Enlightenment thinkers. So these are all things which were during that time in the France was in the society. Every people think, every people write, every people discuss. All those thinkers, Rousseau, Voltaire, Montesquieu, John Locke, all these Enlightenment thinkers provide certain thoughts, and these thoughts at that time was very much prevalent in the society, and all these thoughts they were considered, they were used in the Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen. Means all citizens must pay tax. Tax is according to the tax to all according to income. Tax to all according to income means according to the income every person to pay taxes. Next one is since property is sacred and inviolable right, so right to property. So right to property was considered a right to so right to property was considered a right. The Declaration of Rights of Man and Citizen means property must be remained with the citizens itself. So this image is directly taken from the NCERT book. So Constitution of 1791. This image best describes the Constitution of 1791. You already know there are three organs of the government. First one is judiciary, second one is executive, and third one is legislature. So for the judiciary is directly elected by the active citizens. First, have to remember Constitution of 1791 provide voting rights to only men above 25 years and have property. So the Constitution of 1791 provides voting rights to only men, voting rights to only men above 25 years and have property. These citizens are known as active citizens. So active citizens only have the voting rights and the passive citizens have no voting rights. Clear? So judiciary is directly elected by the active citizens. First point. Legislature was also indirectly elected. There are two types of elections. First is direct election. In direct election, person directly vote for a representative. In the indirect election, what happens? The representative elect the people. So first what happened? The people elect 50,000 personnel. The society elect 50,000 personnel, and those 50,000 personnel then elect 745 members for the assembly, national assembly. So how legislature was elected? Legislature was elected by indirect election. Legislature was elected by indirect election. So for judiciary there was direct election. For legislature there was indirect election. So indirect election what was happened? First the people elect 50,000 men. Those 50,000 members then elect 745 members of the legislative assembly. So this is the procedure for the election of legislature. So first judiciary was elected, legislature was elected. The ministers were appointed. Ministers means the executive. The head of executive was king. Because the 1791 constitution was constitutional monarchy. Means there was constitution, but the head of state will be king. Head of state, king. Monarchy means head of state. So head of state is king. Constitution is there, and the ministers were appointed by the king. But ministers cannot do anything. So ministers have to take for suggestions from the National Assembly, and if the National Assembly propose certain things, then only ministers can work. So executive has to take decisions from the National Assembly itself first. Next, the king has suspensive veto. So there are certain vetoes. Veto power means हाईएस्ट अथॉरिटी मीन्स अगर कोई कुछ करना चाहता है और मैंने वीटो कर दिया इट मीन्स वो डिसीजन कभी इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं होगा. वीटो मीन्स होती है एक पावर जिससे कि सारे जो लोग हैं उनकी बातों को दरकिनार करके उसकी बात को आगे माना जाएगा. वीटो. तो सस्पेंसिव वीटो इज विद द किंग. सस्पेंसिव वीटो का मतलब होता है कि नेशनल असेंबली के डिसीजंस को रिव्यू करने के लिए किंग बोल सकता है. रिव्यू का मतलब होता है king will tell that national assembly that you have to review your decisions, you have to check once again for your decisions. So this suspensive veto was with the king. This was the political structure of the France according to the 1791 constitution. Yes. So king said that I will not accept the declaration of rights. So first king refused to accept the declaration of rights. So what happened? We all know that the neighboring countries, we already discussed the Europe. In Europe, all over the Europe, there were monarchy, absolute monarchy. So the neighboring countries, for example, Austria, neighboring country of France, of during the 18th century. So Austria, Prussia. So neighboring countries of the France at that time, there was no Germany, there was Prussia, Austria, Britain. So all these countries have also absolute monarchy. So these countries monitoring the situation in the France. तो ये सारे देश देख रहे थे फ्रांस में क्या चल रहा है. एंड द ऑस्ट्रियन किंग वांटेड दैट दिस फ्रेंच रिवॉल्यूशन मस्ट बी स्टॉप. तो उसने क्या किया, ही सपोर्टेड द किंग. ही ट्राई दैट he tried to evacuate the king from the France. And when the king was trying to flee from the France toward the Austria, then people get to know and people capture the king. When king tried to flee from the France, then the people capture the king. Clear? So this was till 1791. During the 1791 revolution, what was the role of women? Now we will discuss that. So when we have to talk about the role of women in the French Revolution, we must remember one most important name, and that name was Olympe de Gauche. So Olympe de Gauche was the most important female revolutionary during the French Revolution. So for the condition of women, we all know no political rights and were subordinate to men. So women were considered as the subordinate to the men. They have no political rights. Women cannot vote. Next one is women demanded equality and they used pamphlets, writings and women clubs as their means. So women have also their demands, but those demands were not fulfilled by the National Assembly or by the king. So women wanted equality in the society. Women marched to Versailles for their rights. Women marched to the Versailles. Versailles is a place city in the France. So for their rights, Olympe de Gauche lead that march. Olympe de Gauche was the leader of that march. The National Assembly declared the rights for the man and the citizen. The same way, Olympe de Gauche also proposed certain rights, and those rights were known as the Declaration of Rights of Women and Female Citizens. So these were the important things related to the role of women. You have to not to worry. No one will ask more than that. This is more than sufficient regarding related to the women. Next, what happened after the Constitution of 1791? That Austria and Prussia did not want that French Revolution, the of king, the power of king will be abolished or take over from the king, because in the Austria and the Prussia, because in the Austria and Prussia there was also absolute monarchy. No one wants their power to diminish. So they think that if that revolution took place in the France, then it might be possible in future that these types of revolution will take place in the Austrian Prussia also. So that's why all those kings were in the support of King Louis XVI. So what happened? National Assembly declared in the April 1792 declared war against the Austrian Prussia. And next 10 August 1792 Tuileries Day. So this we will discuss in detail. On 21st September 1792, France abolished monarchy and France became republic. 21st January 1792, king was executed, and this king was executed in the. There was a case of treason against king. On the behalf of that case, king was executed. Later, queen was also executed. Executed means guillotine. Next, France declared war against Britain, Holland, Spain, and Germany. So these are some important events in the 1792-93. So we will discuss all these events one by one. So in 1792, the situation in France was not very good. The secret negotiations of Louis XVI was going on with the King of Prussia, and rulers of neighboring countries were worried by the developments of the France. They did not want that the revolution will took place. The revolution took place in the France. So April 1792, National Assembly declared war against Austria and Prussia. April 1792, National Assembly declared war against Austria and Prussia. Volunteers can join the army. Anyone from the society. Anyone from the society can join the war. And people sing the patriotic song known as Marseillais. This starts from a place known as Marseillais. That's why they named that song as Marseillais. So this song they first sang in the Marseillais place. That's why they named this song as Marseillais. Later this song became the national anthem of the France. Clear? This was the situation in 1792. And when the volunteers joined the army during that time, women Women take care of the families and they earn for the family. Impact of war with Austria and Prussia. So in 1792, war with Austria and Prussia begins. So losses and economic difficulties to the people. Because of war, we already know that because of war, there was a lot of difficulties and losses of money. Next one is men were fighting war during that phase and the women were earning and doing housework. So women were also supporting that war. Dissatisfaction among poor people because Constitution of 1791 gave political rights to rich people only. So now what will happen? The society will start to divide into two groups. First, the group which want changes or reforms in the 1791 Constitution. This is the first group. And second group which want continuity. And the second group which wants continuity with the 1791 Constitution. So there are two groups in the society. Now society is start to divide it into two groups. First group that first group first group that want changes or reforms in the 1791 Constitution, and second group wanted continuity with the 1791 Constitution. Political clubs become rallying point for the people. Example, Jacobin clubs. So now the role of Jacobins and Girondins will begin. What happened? The people belonging to poor people started to relate themselves with the Jacobins club. The poor people who belong to the lower state of the society, they started that we belong to the Jacobin club. They started to associate themselves with the Jacobin club. So what happened in the legislative assembly itself, in the national assembly itself, there were two divisions. There, in the legislative assembly itself, there becomes two divisions. There start sectionism. So what happened? The people think in the two ways. First, the people think that there must be certain changes in the 1791 Constitution, and Girondins think that we have to continue with the 1791 Constitution. So Jacobins are those persons who are radical, liberals, and republics. These people want that we must have to go away with the king. There must be no king. Our nation must be republic. Republic means head of state, head of state to be elected. Republic means head of state to be elected. So radicals, liberals, and republicans. So these sit in the left side of the assembly. That's why they known as the leftists. So the idea of leftist, rightist came from here itself, from the French Revolution. Nowadays, there are certain parties who claim themselves as leftists. There are certain political parties who claim themselves as the rightist. So this concept of left and right originate from the, and so those people who sit in the left side of the legislative assembly known as the leftists, they wear sans plutos. Sans plutos are different types of clothes. These clothes were mainly known as the person who belong to the lower strata, who are poor, they wore these types of clothes. So these clothes are worn by the Jacobins. Next, less prosperous section society, example servant, laborers. These people belong to the very lower state of the society. So this group led by the Maximilian Robespierre. Maximilian Robespierre was the leader of this group, Jacobins Club. So who was the leader of Jacobins Club? Maximilian Robespierre. Second group was Girondins. So Girondins were moderate conservatives. Moderate conservatives means those people who did not want any change now. So they were satisfied with the 1791 constitution and they want to continue with the constitutional monarchy. They think that there must be a king and king have to be at the apex of the society. They did not want any. They did not want any republic. They belong to the bourgeoisie class. Bourgeoisie class means the people who are rich in the third estate. They sit in the right side of the they sit in the right side of the legislative assembly. That's why they known as the rightists. So these are two groups. The legislative assembly was divided into two groups. First was Jacobin, second one was Girondin. Clear? Next, what happened? Because the Jacobin club was revolutionaries. They were liberals. They were radicals. So what they did? They launched an armed revolution against Girondins. So they launched an armed revolution against Girondins. So armed revolution of Saint Clotos is from the place of Tuileries. So Tuileries is a place. Tuileries is a place in the Paris. So they from the that's why this day is known as the Tuileries Day. Took royal family as a captive and marked fall of Jordan. So they captured the royal family. They captured the family of the king, and they marked the fall of Jordan. They said that now Jacobins will take over the power and Jacobins will run the government. Jacobins will change the government, change the polity as a republic. Now there is a no need of any king. So National Convention was established to write the constitution. So now this National Assembly was divided into Jacobins and Girondins. So these Girondins they declared themselves as the National Convention. They declared themselves as the National Convention and they said that now we will rewrite the constitution. Now they said that we will rewrite the constitution. Yes. So Jacobins took over the power. Jacobins was headed by Maximilian Robespierre. Clear? So the next National Assembly was elected by all the members in the society, all the persons that, all the men, all the men that were above the 21 years of age. Here itself, there were no rights for women. So women did not get any voting right during the whole course of French Revolution. Women did not get any voting right. Here, now we will discuss establishment of republic. So in the new constitution, 21st September, the 21st September 1792, monarchy was abolished and republic was established. Republic was established means they said that now king has no power. They took over the power from the king. 21st January 1790, treason का मतलब होता है राजद्रोह. treason का मतलब होता है राजद्रोह, गद्दारी, देश के साथ गद्दारी, धोखा. So king was executed on the charge of treason. The Jacobins said that was king was in the talk with the Austria and Prussia to launch a war against the France. So that's why they said that king the crime and they execute the king. They guillotine the king. Guillotine. Now I will show what is guillotine. So guillotine is a process to kill anybody, kill someone. Later Queen was also executed. Queen was also guillotined. France declared war against Britain, Holland, Spain and Hungary. France done very wrong to after guillotine the king. That's why the France itself in the leadership of Maximilian Robespierre launched the war against Britain, Holland, Spain and Hungary. Here. So now watch this video. In this video, this shows how anyone can guillotine. So for guillotining, what they did, there is a wooden structure. In that wooden structure, they tied a blade. They tied that person with that wooden structure, and the blade falls on the head of that person, and the person died. So next is timeline from 1793 till 1799. So in this first we will discuss the Reign of Terror. So Reign of Terror is the period when the Maximilian Robespierre lead the society, lead the government. When the Maximilian Robespierre was the head of Jacobins and Jacobins ruled the government. Then in 1793 itself, Olympe de Gauche was guillotined by the Jacobins and a lot of persons were guillotined by the Maximilian. The Girondins captured the Robespierre and guillotined that persons also, and that guillotine at the capture of Jacobins, the capture of Robespierre and guillotining of them. This event is known as the Thermidorian reaction. This event is known as the Thermidorian reaction. In 1795, the directory rule begins, and after 1795, the directory rule was very much unstable, the politically unstable. That's why from here itself, the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte starts. And in 1799, the directory rule ends and consular rule begins in the leadership of Napoleon Bonaparte. So reign of terror 1793 till 1794. So this period is known as the reign of terror. So in this period what happened, Robespierre started to execute all those persons who opposed the revolution. All those people, all those persons who think that Maximilien Robespierre or the Jacobins done anything wrong, all those people were guillotined by the Maximilien Robespierre and the Jacobins. So this period was considered as the reign of terror. In this phase, Maximilien Robespierre guillotined a lot of persons. He guillotined Olympe de Gouges, the female leader, the personal secretary, his own personal secretary of Jacobin club, and a lot of persons, the Girondins from the National Assembly itself. So the people feel very much scared, and this event, this reign of terror of the Robespierre, changed the momentum of the French Revolution. It turns the French Revolution upside down. Clear? So what changes Robespierre implemented was new calendar was adopted in 1793. So he want to change all the things which were followed during the old regime. So he first changed the calendar of old regime. New symbols were adopted. Example: female image of liberty and republic. These images were very much prevalent in the society. There were a lot of images, and those are all lot of images were given in the NCERT books for different things. A lot of images were used because at that time not much of society was literate. So how people will understand all those things? They must use the images for that purpose. Restrictions on the trade and price of commodities. So Robespierre said that the government will decide at how much cost you will sell your product. तो कोई भी सामान अगर मार्केट में बेचना है खरीदना है सरकार डिसाइड करेगी उसके पैसे उसका रेट क्या है और कोई डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता तो गवर्नमेंट डिसाइडेड फ्रॉम विच कंट्रीज फ्रांस विल ट्रेड और नॉट ट्रेड the businessman will trade or not trade what were the prices of the products will also be decided by the government itself. Equality of bread and speeches means all the members of the society, even rich, poor, all of them will get same bread. Means same food. They will eat same food. They can speak same languages. Means they can speak the same words. No one is above in the society. No one is below in the society. If we consider food and speeches. Next one is de-Christianization. De-Christianization means shutting down of churches. चर्चेस को बंद कर दिया चर्चेस को ऑफिस में बदल दिया मीन्स नाउ देर इज नो नीड ऑफ एनी clergy institution. Now there is no need of any church. So these all reforms were taken place during the days of Maximilien Robespierre. Thermidor, the July month is France. July month in France is known as the month of Thermidor. So that's why this event was known as the Thermidorian reaction. In July 1794, what happened? The Girondins arrested the Robespierre and his allies and guillotined them. The Girondins implement the ban on Jacobins. Robespierre laid down the main objective of the French Revolution. Means the Robespierre changed the momentum of the French Revolution itself. Robespierre brings the revolution upside down. The fall of Jacobins allowed the return of Girondins. तो Jacobins को जब सरकार से हटा दिया तो अभी किसकी पावर आ गई Girondins की. तो वोटिंग राइट्स ऑफ नॉन प्रोटेक्टेड पर्सन्स वर अबॉलिश. तो Girondins जो चीज़ें फॉलो करते थे जो Girondins की आइडियोलॉजी थी नाउ Girondins started to implement that ideology of man 25 years or above man plus property. Means all those persons who have property and above the age of 25 years now they can vote. Next one is a new constitution directory rule begins. So now the constitution is now constitution was changed in 1795. So the 1793, 94 and 95 is 1793 to 1795. The Robespierre did not implement any constitution itself. Robespierre did not implement the Republican constitution because Robespierre said that first we have to clear the society, first we have to make our society clean, then we will implement the constitution. And in that course he started to guillotine lot of persons. Here, so Directory Rule 1795 to 1799. This This phase of 1795 to 1799 was known as the Directory rule, and this phase was most unstable during the course of French Revolution. There was a lot of political instability. Means the legislature was divided into first two. The legislature was divided into, there were two houses. Bicameralism means two houses. For example, right now in India, Indian Parliament is bicameral. Bicameral means there are two houses. First one is lower house Lok Sabha and second one is upper house Rajya Sabha. In the same manner, legislature in the direct rule in 1795 was bicameral legislature. Now there were five executives. And now what happened? These five executives have no coordination between them, and there is a tussle between executive and legislature. So because there was tussle between legislature and executive, and there was tussle between the director itself, there was a lot of political instability in the French society. And because of that political instability, what happened during that phase? I already told you. During this course, France was in the war. France was in the war with Britain, Hungary, Spain, a lot of countries, a lot of neighboring countries, because of that revolution. And during the war, what happens? The military reputation will increase in the society. In the war period, military reputation increase in the society. Because of the increment of the military reputation, now the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte begins. So, clash between executive and legislature leads to political instability. During this phase, power and prestige of French army was increasing, because during this course, French was continuously in the war. Political instability and reputation of army paved the way for the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. So because of this reason, what happens? Because of the instability, because of the political instability of society, Napoleon Bonaparte begins to rise in the society, and he came into the main picture in the French society. So from here onwards, we will discuss Napoleon Bonaparte. I'll make a separate video on Napoleon Bonaparte, and from Napoleon Bonaparte, we will directly move to the unification of Germany and Italy. Clear? So today we discussed about, we started in 1789. We discussed there are a lot of events in 1789. Convocation of First convocation of State General. First convocation of State General. Then in 1789 itself, Tennis Court Oath. Tennis Court Oath. Bastille Storming. August Degree. And Declaration of Rights. And Declaration of Rights. So these were the major events in 1789. Then 1791 Constitution. In 1791 itself, King tried to flee but captured during the course. In 1792, so 1792 what happened? Factionalism, Jacobins and Girondins. Jacobins and Girondins. Factionalism in the Legislative Assembly. 1793-94 Reign of Terror. Then 1794 itself, Robespierre Bulletin. In 1792, King executed. King was executed. 1794 Robespierre Bulletin. From 1795 till 1799, Directory rule. So we discuss all these events one by one in a sequence. All about the French course of French Revolution from 1789 to 1799. These were the events, and for every event there must be certain reason. I discuss all those events and reasons in detail. Next video I'll discuss about Napoleon Bonaparte. Just before finishing this, I want to add certain things. If anyone wants to ask any, they can post their questions in the comment box. Till then, bye bye, tata, see you.